Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on this Friday for the devotional with our reading that we're reading as a church out of Titus. It's really interesting. My introduction into Titus is saying that Paul wrote this letter to Titus, and Paul wrote the letter to Titus, and Titus was one of his sponsees. And it really reminded me how the last step in the 12-step recovery program is taking the message to others. And that's really something that I feel really strongly about. And so I love the book of Titus because it is about Paul admonishing and giving Titus the information that he needs in order to organize and teach the local church. I love verse 4 that says, "To Titus, my true son in our common faith." I just think that shows the love that he had for Titus and the faith that he had in Titus to be able to carry out what he was charging him to. And then he goes on and he talks about, what an elder must be. And boy, I tell you what, those things that he's saying to them are very strong things. They're talking about, he has to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to violence, not pursuing dishonest gain, being hospitable, loving what is good. And I just think, wow, that is really a high calling to have. And these were for the elders, but he also knew that as leadership in a church goes, so goes the church. And I feel like he was really committed to that. There's one part in here where he says, "To the pure, all things are pure," in verse 15. "But to those who are corrupted and do not believe, nothing is pure." So, he was really, again, saying that we have to have our actions, our walk, match our talk. And I liked how in this first chapter of Titus, he's saying, speak to what is true. In all ways and at all times, be committed to the truth. I just really think that as you look through Paul giving this information onto Titus, he was just lovingly having him carry out, what Paul's mission was, knowing that he wasn't going to be around forever and he couldn't be in all places at all times. And so he had to give those around him, those he poured his life into, the tools to be able to carry out the mission of the gospel. So thank you all for joining me today. And I hope you have a great Friday. And remember always to love God and love people.